Electrical. Electrical failures are frequent and usually stem from the school's inability to accommodate our electrical needs. There are not sufficient outlets for the equipment, and in many locations, attempting to run more than one piece of classroom equipment or faculty lunchroom appliance, such as a microwave and a coffee maker, result in a blown fuse. In addition, light ballast failures throughout the building are recurrent. Food preparation. The kitchen still houses its original obsolete equipment, with the exception of a more recently installed dishwasher. The pizza oven, installed in 1954, is anybody alive then? Sorry. All right, Nick, you are. Has only one functional heating shelf out of 5. The district's present short-term solution is to move a heating oven from Strathaven High School to West as a temporary solution. There is not, nor has there been for as long as I have been principal, capability for the West kitchen to function adequately as a prep kitchen. In addition, we continue to experience repeated failures of both the refrigeration and freezer systems. Doors and windows. Throughout the building, the seals between the panes of the double-hung windows have broken. The layers of argon gas located between the 2 panes have been compromised and replaced by what appears to be a sort of yellow slime in some cases, and a degree of clouding in all places that render the windows opaque and impossible to see out of. Recently, the glass in 5 windows in room 108 were replaced at a substantial cost due to the significant buildup of this yellow substance. In addition, window frames throughout the building stick, making it in some cases difficult, and in other cases impossible, to open or close windows. This poses a ventilation problem and has necessitated our putting air conditioners in several classrooms to accommodate the physical needs of some children and staff members with respiratory problems. The air conditioners then put an additional burden on an already overtaxed electrical system. Additionally, 2 classrooms in any heavy rainstorm incur window leaks. Exterior doors throughout the building, including the main front doors, have experienced recurrent problems which at times render them inoperable. While the district maintenance staff has repeatedly attempted to repair them, short of replacement, there is no long-term solution to the problems with either the front or back doors. In addition, the locking, closing, and opening mechanisms on classroom doors throughout the building are difficult to operate and pose a challenge in the event of either an emergency evacuation or a lockdown. Accessibility. There is no elevator, as most of you well know, in this multi-level building. Chair lifts were installed in 2 locations approximately 9 years ago. In one case, the chairlift runs the entire length of the stairwell from the ground to the 3rd floor. It takes up significant space and consequently impedes emergency evacuation. Even with the chairlifts in 2 locations, sections of the building remain inaccessible because of the multiple levels and steps in the building. In addition to that, because of the unavailability of handicapped accessible bathrooms, children and adults needing handicapped accessible bathrooms need to use the bathrooms in the health suite. Recently, I've moved on to floor tiles, I'm sorry. Recently, floor tiles throughout the building have begun to come up. The scope of this problem is huge, affecting both classrooms and hallways. It is the result of the age and deterioration of the subfloors and not just the failure of the tiles themselves. In the last 2 months, the entire floors of 5 classrooms have been replaced, again at a substantial cost, while repair work continues in hallways and in 10 additional classrooms. This again poses a safety and a tripping hazard. Parents who have been in the affected classrooms continue to email me, demanding to know when the floors will be repaired. Teachers repeatedly ask the status of the repair work orders they have submitted, and the district maintenance staff is doggedly attempting to remediate the problem, although the rate of floor tile damage and loss far surpasses the speed with which they can be repaired. So what is the impact of building inadequacies on programming and student learning? To some extent, the impact of the litany I just presented is self-evident. Electrical, heating, and plumbing failures result in lost instructional time. Classes that have to be moved because there is no heat lose both sustained learning experiences and instructional resources. Since instructional space at WES is as insufficient as it is unsuitable, displaced classes end up joining other classes, thus interrupting the instruction of even more children. Even overflowing toilets and sinks that won't turn off result in lost instructional time, as student visits to the office to report these problems occur multiple times each day. Food preparation delays protract lunch periods and take away from instructional and recess time. And this is occurring in a time of heightened attention to the importance of both nutrition and exercise for students. To put that in the context of the school day, as I often say, as go lunch and recess, so goes the afternoon. Some of the impact is less evident to those who don't live in the building every day. Windows that don't work and the consequent poor ventilation, excessive heat or cold, and excessive noise all impact students' ability to attend. Classes that are undersized by present standards cannot comfortably or safely accommodate the equipment needs of the 21st century programs or special needs children. Insufficient space, a matter presented to and discussed by the Board of School Directors in 2005, has resulted in our combining multiple services, such as speech and language and occupational therapy, in small spaces originally constructed as storage or single-use annex spaces. Our English as a second language instruction and some reading support instruction take place in a basement supply closet. The nurse's medication closet is used for in-school suspension and one-on-one testing. Equipment necessary to help special needs children regulate themselves, trampolines, peanut balls, floor pads, a padded timeout area, take up half of a classroom. And while staff members are helping some students to de-escalate, teachers in the same room are trying to maintain the focus of the children they are teaching. Some support services occur in hallways, the cafeteria, or the lobby. PSSA testing is a logistical near impossibility, as there are not enough spaces to accommodate all the students whose IEPs call for special testing accommodations. Believe it or not, this list is not exhaustive. The impact of these conditions on both teachers and students is significant. Substandard conditions may be chronic, interrupting events may be episodic, but the impact on student achievement is likely to be cumulative. To us, kids come first, and the amazing WES staff works hard to compensate for an inadequate building, but at a cost. We, all of us, are weary. For us, the need for the district to take action has moved from important to urgent. There is no luxury of time. The unsuitable conditions at WES impact teaching and learning, spirit, comfort, and safety.